Blue laser imaging BLI endoscopy, Fujifilm Company, Kanagawa, Japan, has been developed as a new endoscopic diagnostic method for GI pathology using two laser sources, which produce a new type of bright high-resolution images of digestive tract mucosa. BLI has the potential to detect early cancers of the GI tract, determine the delineation of the lesion, and demonstrate the surface and vascular patterns before ESD. The bright images produced by a combination of the white light and spectral images produce the great depth of field and high-resolution images on the uneven surface of the tumor. Both vascular and surface patterns are clearly visualized in gastric cancer. Minute white circles in differentiated gastric cancer are identified distinct from the unstructured pattern in undifferentiated lesions. BLI detects malignant lesions surrounded by intestinal metaplasia. The demarcation line between Barrett's mucosa and upper portion of gastric mucosa is determined by BLI. Early squamous cell cancer of middle portion of esophagus is shown using BLI without magnification. BLI shows higher color contrast between the brown malignant lesion and the surrounding area without magnification. Intrapapillary capillary loops are clearly visualized. This case shows Barrett's esophagus. FICE enhances the palisade vessels in the white Barrett's mucosa and produces high-contrasted Barrett's mucosa. In addition, BLI bright images and BLI also enhance the palisade vessels and can reveal the demarcation line between Barrett's mucosa and the brown gastric mucosa. This case shows early gastric cancer in the cardia of stomach using BLI. At low magnification, BLI reveals the demarcation line between cancer and the surrounding area. BLI has great depth of field. At half or high magnification, BLI reveals very clearly distinctive white lines forming white zone, including minute size in both deep and shallow areas, and irregular microvessels in white zones, suggesting differentiated adenocarcinoma. BLI magnification images with early gastric cancer are compared with those of NBI magnification images in deeply depressed area, supported by post-ESD specimen. NBI magnification cannot focus on the shallow area in cancerous lesion very sharply when the deeply depressed area is observed on good focus. By contrast, BLI magnification can focus on both shallow and deeply depressed areas on the same image because of great depth of field. This case shows a typically fine network pattern of early gastric cancer in the gastric body. BLI bright images show fine network pattern in depressed cancer by exhibiting clearly irregular microvessels surrounding various sizes of white spots corresponding to histologically marginal cryptepithelium. Also, BLI images show fine network pattern more strongly and sharply. These images suggest histologically well-differentiated adenocarcinoma. This image shows nodular intestinal metaplasia in the antrum. The endoscopic diagnosis of intestinal metaplasia is often difficult using white light images alone. Using BLI, such nodular lesions are shown as green color changes. It is difficult to differentiate depressed-type intestinal metaplasia from depressed-type early gastric cancer. BLI images show green intestinal metaplasia with regular arrangement of surface pattern distinct from surrounding brown, non-metaplastic mucosa. This case shows small early gastric cancer surrounded by intestinal metaplasia in the pre-pyloric area, supported by histology after ESD. BLI detects the brown malignant lesion surrounded by green intestinal metaplasia. BLI produces a clear demarcation line between them at half magnification and reveals detailed surface pattern at high magnification. White circles of cancer are smaller than those of surrounding area. This case shows signet ring cell carcinoma with irregular microvessels in the lower body. The lesion is enhanced by FICE in a distant view. Magnified image reveals the white depressed area with blurred surface pattern in comparison with surrounding area. BLI magnified images reveal a slightly expanded fine network pattern that implies superficial spread of signet ring cell carcinoma. This pattern may be useful for the determination of demarcation line between cancer and surrounding area. At high magnification, irregular microvessels are clearly visualized. Especially frizzy vessels characteristic of undifferentiated carcinoma are identified in an unstructured area. These high-resolution images with good focus are very useful in the uneven cancerous area. Another case of signet ring cell carcinoma is located in the posterior wall of the antrum. At half and high magnification, BLI bright images reveal irregular and distinctive microvessels in the unclear surface pattern, where white circles cannot be recognized very sharply. At high magnification, a key fret pattern is shown in an unstructured area. This pattern is specific for signet ring cell carcinoma. This case shows a duodenal cancer in an adenoma in the bulb. The protruded lesion is seen in the bulb. White opaque substance is clearly recognized with white light images. BLI detects not only vascular and surface patterns of duodenal cancer with magnification, but also the minute white opaque substance of possible fatty deposits on the tumor surface. The histological type of most duodenal ulcers is well-differentiated adenocarcinoma, and thus BLI images are similar to those with gastric cancer. Both irregular microvessels and irregular surface pattern, including minute white circles, are clearly identified on surface of gastric cancer. High color contrast of gastric intestinal metaplasia with gastric cancers leads to early detection of gastric cancer. In squamous cell carcinoma of the esophagus, blue laser imaging produces a high color contrast between brown lesions with intraepithelial papillary loops and the surrounding area. The extent of Barrett's esophagus is easily shown as a high color contrast with the brown gastric mucosa.